Thank you for joining us here at KARE11.com. Here's a look at your headlines today, and our top story, a deadly shooting in St. Paul. It happened in the Frogtown neighborhood just before 7 p.m. Police say a man was found shot inside of a car at the intersection of Charles Avenue and Gaultier Street. He died at the hospital. In their latest release, police say they are still looking for the shooter. We're following up on damage from overnight storms, including multiple house fires. This video is from a house fire in Crystal. This happened on Xenia Avenue. A firefighter on scene told us they are still investigating a cause. There have been several reports overnight of fires started by lightning. This is what happened to this home in Cottage Grove. Firefighters were able to contain the flames, thankfully, to the attic. A set of new laws are now in effect across the state. They impact things like parenting workers who make tips and guns. Audrey Russo has all the details.
Minnesotans waking up to new laws of the land this morning. Several laws went into effect at midnight, seemingly aimed at protecting people's rights and their safety. First up, pregnant workers can now take leave for prenatal appointments without it counting against their 12 weeks of parental leave. There are new laws more clearly defining what type of car seat a kid must ride in according to their age, their height, and their weight. A major shift here is that kids under the age of 13 must sit in the back seat when possible. And for workers who earn tips, your employer must now pay you your full tip amount. They can no longer deduct a swipe fee from a mobile or card payment. But perhaps the biggest change comes from lawmakers tackling the safety hazard of gun violence. It is now a felony to do a straw purchase. That's when you buy a gun for someone who cannot legally have or buy one for themselves. It used to be a gross misdemeanor. The change sparked by the killing of 2 Burnsville police officers and a paramedic back in February. The suspect's girlfriend allegedly bought him the weapons that were used in the attack. And if someone breaks this law, the new penalty, up to 2 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Back to you.
Well, Blue Earth County commissioners are considering the future of the Rapidan Dam and the nearby bridge. County leaders discussed several options here, including fixing the dam, replacing it, or leaving it and protecting a new channel on the west side. Leaders also talked about adding fencing to keep people out of the area. High floodwaters damaged the more than 100-year-old dam last month. The U.S. and Russia have agreed to a significant prisoner transfer. An official says a number of Americans are expected to be back in the care of the U.S., including journalist Evan Gershkovich, who was just sentenced to 16 years in a Russian prison. Paul Whelan is also included in the swap here. He has been in Russian custody for more than 5 years. The U.S. says both were wrongfully detained. This swap comes after months and months of negotiations. Staying on top of the 2024 election, we now know Vice President Kamala Harris will be in Eau Claire next Wednesday. She will bring her VP choice with her as well. Harris's campaign says she plans to announce her running mate on Monday before hitting the campaign trail with them next week. The first stop will be in Philadelphia, and the Wisconsin visit will be from 12 to 6 p.m. We're still waiting to find out exactly where it will be held in Eau Claire. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump is facing backlash over his appearance at the convention for the National Association of Black Journalists in Chicago. And here's one moment that's been getting a lot of attention.
And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
He is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't.
Trump falsely suggested Vice President Kamala Harris misled voters about her race. Later, Harris called the comments, quote, "the same old show, the divisiveness and the disrespect." The conversation was meant to be an opportunity for Trump to appeal to black voters. The Federal Reserve is keeping interest rates steady once again. Moving forward, officials have signaled we could see rates start to go down by September. Right now, rates are at their highest in more than 2 decades. The increase is meant to slow inflation, and while it's still not down to target levels, it has been easing. We're just 2 weeks away, or just a few weeks away from the start of college classes, but the ongoing FAFSA setback could delay financial aid. The Education Department says colleges will not be able to submit corrections in bulk to update records. Colleges have been waiting months to send batches of corrected records. If they submit them manually, it could delay student aid, leaving some students unable to afford those fees. A St. Paul police commander is being honored for his quick and heroic actions during a scary situation at the X earlier this year. Ian Russell shows us what happened and how he responded.
In the midst of a Travis Scott concert at the X,
It was loud. I mean, very, very loud.
calling it controlled chaos might be an understatement.
Yeah, it's a full house.
Earlier this year, Commander John Linson of the St. Paul Police Department was working that concert.
And I heard one of the suite staff on the radio say that they needed EMS and they had a man down.
John was the first one to get there, helping with first aid right away.
Checked. He had no pulse, wasn't breathing, so we started CPR. Sent somebody to grab an AED.
Every call is different, and most people John sees are strangers, but not this one.
It's pretty profound to think that I had an opportunity to be part of a group that saved this man's life.
That man
I like some of Travis's songs, not all of them.
is Roy Hunn, owner of Keys Cafe, an acquaintance of John's for what he'd bring to the X.
I says, hey, I'm going to bring him a cookie next time. And I did that about 6 times, and the rest is history.
This isn't the first time the two have met up since Roy was released from the hospital, but it's probably the most special.
And so today we're here to give a life-saving award.
An award to recognize a hero,
I mean, I owe him everything.
and a chance to say thank you once again.
And now we're lifelong friends.
I feel pretty humbled to be involved in that, and I just feel like I did my job.
Now, the commander says there were a lot of people that helped save Roy's life, and he wanted to accept the award on their behalf as well. A new study here shows the Minnesota accent is among the most difficult for artificial intelligence to understand. This comes from data from guidetofluency.com. They talked to 3,000 people to see how well AI understood their accents. Minnesota's accent is the 13th most misunderstood. The Southern accent ranked first. Interesting. Or our cooler weather today is a little bit better than what we've seen, but we do have a chance for some showers. And then the weekend starts with the return of the heat. Let's take a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are battling a little bit of light rain here today, so on and off rain is going to be expected. We've seen that here in the backyard, so prepare for that. I will say the one benefit to this, it is going to be much, much cooler. We had to drop temperatures quite a bit here today with the forecast, maybe highs around 80 maybe, if we can break into some sunshine. How about the rain from yesterday? Owatonna, that area just southern parts of Minnesota, 3-4 inches down there. I saw some, even some higher amounts on radar that's indicated maybe 4 or 5. They were very isolated, but still, that's an incredible amount of rain. New Prague, close to 2, but even spots around the Twin Cities, Maple Grove, 1.3, so there was obviously some higher marks on the north side, but then Andover at 1. So depending on where you lived, we'll call it around an inch in the metro. Did fall yesterday. So here's what it looked like. Again, you can kind of see some of these pockets near Owatonna and near Rochester. Those are the areas that picked up well over 3 inches. Most of this green shaded region is actually 1 to 3. And then as you go into the metro, you can see that there's some blue, there's some green. That indicates right around an inch. Again, the airport actually came in at one of the higher points, is around 1.5 inches. Northeast metro, when you got up to Pine City, those were spots that saw less than ½ an inch, and you can see that makes sense up there. And then more rain, over 2 inches if you lived in Hutchinson, Wilmer, that area picked up a lot. So the rest of today, we'll continue to see this low sit here and swirl. We will see a little bit of light rain here come through, just like I said, through the afternoon, just on and off rain showers, and then we're going to clear things out. Tonight, getting clear skies. Once we step to 7:30, we are clear, and we're going to start warming up tomorrow. It might be too late to warm up today. It's going to be dicey. We might pop to 80 for a little bit, but it does look like we'll continue to see those rain showers possible through 3 or 4. Tonight at around 7, right before the sun sets, we'll get that sun, of course. That is why we had to drop temperatures. If it cleared at 5, we'd make it to 85 degrees. So that couple of hours with holding on to the clouds a little longer allowed temperatures to stay cool. 81, how about only 77 in Mankato? Rochester, 76 degrees today. Temperatures up in Bemidji, sunny and 85. We are clearing out today in Bemidji. So going to the north, being on the lakes, it's a great summer day up there. Even Brainerd, second half of the day. Look at tomorrow. Tomorrow, straight up sunshine. Everybody is sunny. It is a hot day. It is not the most humid of days, but we will see a big change. So if you want the warmth, you like the heat, it's because tomorrow's not unbearable. It's a nice summer day. It is going to be, this has become uncommon because when you look at this, we're expecting temperatures to go below average, and we are the bullseye of below average temperatures. So when does that arrive? Well, we already see it here Monday. By the time we get to the weekend, enjoy the heat, because the good news is it's not going to last forever. By the time we go to Sunday, Monday, we see a chance, maybe a couple showers on a cold front Sunday. Monday's your better chance for rain, and then there you go. We got 50s for lows and 70s for highs. Enjoy the cooler weather ahead.
All right, thank you very much. That's a look at your Thursday headlines. I'm Jason Hackett. Have a great day.